chance to visit a little bit today with Linda Kennedy, a client who had come to see us about 8 years ago for the first time. She's had a number of challenges over the years, but we've been able to help her at several different steps. In our little visit here, we have a chance to talk about how we've helped and what difference CCOA has made in her life. I hope you enjoy the visit. Tell me, Linda, how did you first hear about CCOA?
Well, I had to use an ambulance service one night to be taken to the hospital, and my insurance didn't pay for the whole thing. And the ambulance company suggested I call you all, and I could get a letter from you saying that I couldn't afford to pay the rest of it, and then they wrote the rest of it off.
Okay.
And that's how I first heard of you all.
So tell me, Linda, what were your expectations when you first contacted us?
I wasn't really sure what to expect because, like, I had never heard about you before except from the ambulance company. And I had to bring lots of documents with me, so I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but it was a big help for me and helped me look at what my financial situation was.
Okay. Did you have concerns before coming to see us about what we were going to
Not really,
be doing?
Not really, because I've worked in human service situations most of my life, so I knew that it was going to be something that would be helpful to me. And I had read about you all online and saw what kind of work that you did. Before I came over, I kind of checked everything out. So.
All right. Did that first meeting kind of meet your expectations?
Yes, it did. It did meet, and like I said, it was really helpful for me to look at my financial situation and things that I could do to, kind of help me out. And
gave you a chance to take a closer look at things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you feel it was kind of a helpful context as opposed to somebody kind of telling you what to do?
It was very helpful. Very helpful. Yeah, I felt like that you all gave me different options that I could look at, and it was my decision of what to do. I didn't feel like anybody was telling me what to do.
Yeah, because that's what we strive to do, is make sure that you feel like you're in charge, that we're not imposing a plan on you, but kind of opening up your world and helping you to explore things.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
What was the most helpful thing about that first meeting?
More to help me look that let me think, where I needed to like rebudget some things or to, I ended up taking on a small part-time job to kind of, fill in for my, where I was lacking in finance.
It strikes me always that it's hard to get motivated to take on that other job unless you know how it fits into that bigger plan of what you're trying to achieve. And did that help you to?
That did help me, yes.
See that?
Yes, it did help me a lot.
Overall, you were pleased with the first meeting that you had?
Yes, very much so. And I've referred other people here.
Excellent.
Or told other people about, your organization so that they could come get help also. So.
Did you feel kind of stressed before you came in? You were struggling, couldn't make that payment on that ambulance bill?
Right, yes, yeah. I mean, financial situations are always a struggle. And I've always worked in low-paying positions because I don't have the college degree. And I've always worked in human services, which is always low-paying jobs. So it's always kind of a stress. And it really helped me to look at the whole picture.
Good.
Instead of like the one-by-one, financial payments that I needed to make, I kind of looked at the bigger picture of it.
Okay.
And that helped a lot.
Did you feel that you were relieved of some of the stress after that initial meeting?
Yes, in the sense that I saw that I needed to take on a second job for a short period of time. It kind of helped me make that decision.
You had a plan then to move forward?
Yes, exactly.
Good. I know that a couple of years later you contacted us again, isn't that correct?
Yes, and to tell you the truth, I can't remember exactly why, but I think that I was having a situation with a creditor.
Yeah, I believe
collection.
It was a collection agency had contacted you about an old bill.
Exactly, and I was trying to negotiate with them, and they were being very uncooperative and told me I was being uncooperative, and I told them I was going to work with you and at your your corporation here, and they said that they don't work with you all. And
Yeah.
so it was kind of a back and forth kind of thing. So, but
Right.
I was mainly checking out what they had told me.
Uh-huh.
So, which it turned out was not true.
Okay. Did Kathy give you some useful insights on how to
Yes.
deal with them?
Yes.
What were some of those insights?
Gosh, she just told me to call him back and try to negotiate. And what was funny was the original person I talked to would not talk to me. She kind of handed me off to somebody else. And like I said, it's been about 6 years ago, so I can't remember exactly how everything turned out. But
Okay.
on that one.
I know, as I said before, a lot of times people feel kind of beat up and abused by collection agencies. You said you had been in collections, so you knew their game ahead of time.
Right.
Do you think the advice that Kathy gave you would have been more beneficial to somebody who hadn't your
Exactly,
background?
yes,
Give you a little bit of
yes.
self-confidence in
Yes.
dealing with them? And
Absolutely, yeah. And I felt that if I needed that extra support from her or this agency, that they would have been there to back me up. You know, just kind of as a support system. You know, if I needed you all to talk to them too, she, offered to do that for me. So
Good, yeah,
Yeah.
because I know a lot of times they just struggle trying to do that on their own.
right,
And
right.
Just having an ally on their side can make a big
It
difference.
makes a big
sometimes.
difference, and you just feel so ignorant. I mean, the people make you feel very ignorant,
Right.
and they make you feel kind of like you're the kind of scum of the earth, and it's like nobody needs to do that to anybody.
No,
There's just different situations why people get into, or different causes why people get into situations, and they don't know the whole story. So I was not in collections very long because I couldn't do it.
Right, yeah, I think it's a rare breed that takes that on.
Yes, I think so too. I didn't, and I was very young, and it was like it was just something I couldn't do. So, but I do remember the game.
I understand, though, that wasn't the end of your encounters with us, that you
No.
came back and you attended one of our homebuyer education
I
classes
did
as well.
a year
It
ago.
was a year ago. Okay.
Yes, and I was able to buy a house, and I would never have been able to buy a house if I had not found out about your homebuyers program and the different programs I could go through to help.
How did you hear about our homebuyer education program?
A coworker was going through it, and he was just kind of one step ahead of me through the whole home buying process. So he told me about you all, and I signed up for the course, and then kind of went from there and was able to purchase a home.
Good.
We've been in our home for a year as of yesterday.
Oh,
So,
terrific.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was
Thank
the
you.
most useful part about the homebuyer education class itself?
Oh gosh, there were so many. It kind of it made me feel like it was possible to buy a house. I never in my life felt that I would ever be able to afford to buy a house on my own. They gave me a lot of information about. I think it's an FHA
FHA loan?
loan, and what the possibilities were. They had I had a bank come in and talk to our group, and they had, and that it made it feel more feasible. The whole thing just made it feel like I could really do this. And they gave us information about, hooking up with real estate companies, and gave us a list of different real estate companies we could hook up with, and again helped us look at our finances to see, where we could, what price range we could go through, and all that.
So it sounds like you really covered a lot of different things, and maybe even got a sense of the big picture
Exactly.
of what goes into the process.
Yes. Yeah.
Did that give you a little more confidence?
Absolutely.
Moving forward?
Yes. In fact, I went the next day and started the process with
Did
the
you?
bank, and
Wow.
I went and got the next day to see if I could get approved for a loan and how much, and then started looking for places.
That's great.
In fact, some people tell me that I went about it backwards, that I went to the course first and then to the bank. And
No, that's the way I think it's best.
and it worked out the best for me, because it was like, why go through the process of looking for a bank or a house or whatever? And I know some of the other people that were there had already picked their house out.
Yeah, that does happen at times.
Yeah, but I like the way I did it, to go, to the program first and then,
Because then
progress.
you've got your key decisions ahead of you that you've got to make, and then you're a more informed consumer
Exactly,
going into it.
exactly.
Rather than looking back and saying, well, here's what I should have done.
Exactly.
Now that I know.
But they were all really helpful. I mean, there was a real estate company that was there. There was a
Yeah,
bank that was
yeah.
there, and then the people from this agency, were all very, very helpful with
Good.
it. And like I said, I was in my 60s when I bought my first house, and I never thought I would be
great.
able to do it. So it feels really good.
I bet.
It feels really good.
Now, you also came back to us more recently as well.
Just a couple of weeks ago, I'm in the process of thinking about retiring next year, and I didn't know where to start. I kind of wanted to. I didn't know what to look at, and I called here and asked if you all ever did any kind of retirement, counseling.
Right. Which is not our bread and butter, but if it fits
Exactly.
into the bigger picture,
Exactly. Yes.
we're happy to help.
And Mike, I think
Mike Whitty.
he was a very big help for me,
Good.
and helped me look at, I didn't have all my paperwork together because I didn't know exactly what I needed to have. So he helped me look at what I needed to go get, and then did a little bit of a budget with me because I wasn't sure exactly what my Social Security income was going to be, or my retirement plan from my work, how much I was going to be getting from that. So I've now been able to go look at that, and
Good.
he gave me a lot of really good information,
Some good resources.
some very good resources.
Good.
And then I was able to go back to my work too, and know what I needed to get from them. So what kind of documents I needed. So that was a really big help.
And I'm really glad to hear that too, because, like I said, retirement expertise is not our bread and butter. But on the other hand, I'm glad that you felt comfortable that you had a good outcome in talking to a counselor who just wanted to help you achieve your goal, and rather than saying, here's a cookie cutter approach to, we're going to deal with everybody the same way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Regardless of what your problem is, here's the solution we have. The fact
And
that
that's
he
what
was-
I like about this agency. I've been here for several different reasons, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
And every one of them I have a very positive outcome from it. I always felt supported. I always felt that they really looked at my situation, and like you said, it wasn't a cookie cutter type of approach to it. So that's been very important to me. And I would definitely come back again if and even if it wasn't something that you all did, I feel like you would maybe and have, kind of referred me on to someplace that could help, possibly. So
You've had a chance to use our services over the past 8 years in a variety of different ways, too.
yes.
Do you think it's made a significant difference in your life?
I think it has. I really do. And probably the biggest significance was buying the house.
Oh, sure.
And then the second one, I think, is helping me with retirement. I think that those two things were,
They're transformative.
yes, those are major changes in life. So I think it has made a significance. And like I said, it gave me the confidence before, to look at the big picture, in the very beginning, and see what I needed to do to make things better. So it's made a significant difference in my life.
Oh, good.
So
I think I asked you this, but I wasn't sure. Did your initial encounter with us encourage you to want to come back and see us?
absolutely. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Or I would never have called back. I mean, if I hadn't had a good experience, I would have never called back. I would have looked for other resources. But it really did help me to come back, and I came back 4 times. So
So glad that you did.
thank you.
And there are some services that we do charge for, others that
Right.
we do for free. The fact, as I look back over the services that we provided you, I think all of them were provided without charge.
Exactly. Yes.
How does that feel?
I felt good. Yeah, because you don't find that very often
Yeah,
anymore, that there are services out there. And sometimes I just have questions I need to ask, and I, like I said, I work in human services, and it's not always a high-paying situation,
Right.
so I have to pick and choose, what I spend my money on. And I really appreciate the fact that you do have services there that, that aren't always,
Right.
high-priced.
Yeah.
But
This has been a video testimonial for CCOA. Thank you for watching.